12 orders. In all of modern commercial aviation history, there is one widebody, certified, technologically advanced, that received only 12 orders in the entire program. The direct Boeing competitor, more than 457 orders. The bigger brother of the same program, built in the same factory with the same engine, 477. One brother sold nearly 500 units, the other, 12. Only 7 aircraft are flying commercially today, 3 airlines on the entire planet. But here's what's most frightening. This aircraft didn't fail because it was bad. It was executed. And it all began nearly a decade before it even existed. We just hit 30,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much, and don't forget to subscribe for more aviation videos. In 2004, Boeing announced the 787 Dreamliner, carbon fiber fuselage, 20% lighter than conventional aluminum, fuel efficiency that no widebody had achieved before, capable of opening routes that no previous aircraft could make profitable. Boeing had found the shortcut, and Airbus was in the dark with the heavy and expensive A380. Airbus's first response was to try an updated version of the original A330. Airlines and lessors, the companies that lease aircraft, rejected it. It wasn't enough. So Airbus threw everything up in the air and started from scratch. The A350 XWB was born, launched in 2006. Completely new aircraft, carbon fiber, designed to face the 777 and the larger versions of the 787. But the A330 competed in the 300 to 400 seat segment. The 787-8 was smaller, 240 seats, built for thin, long-haul routes, moderate demand intercontinental connections. In that specific segment, Airbus left a vacuum. For 10 years, Boeing filled that vacuum. Hundreds of 787s ordered, dozens of airlines committed. When Airbus finally reacted, the year was 2014, and the 787 had already been carrying passengers for 3 years. But on July 14, 2014, at the Farnborough Air Show, Airbus announced what few imagined would happen: the A330neo from new engine option. The proposal? Take a platform already validated with more than 1,400 units sold, add new Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 engines, and deliver 14% economy per seat. Development cost? A fraction of a clean sheet aircraft. 2 variants: the A330-900, larger variant with 287 seats and 7,350 nautical mile range, and the A330-800, the smaller one with 257 seats, but 8,100 nautical miles of range, the direct competitor of the 787-8. On Farnborough that day, it was the star, but no one realized that Airbus had just created 2 versions, and the market was about to give an answer that would surprise the entire industry. The first flight of the A330-800 happened in November 2018, certification in February 2020, first delivery October 2020 to Kuwait Airways. October 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, demand for widebodies evaporated overnight. Airlines around the world were grounding fleets, laying off pilots, burning cash to survive. The worst possible moment for a new commercial aircraft to enter the market. But the pandemic wasn't even the real problem. When the 800 variant reached the market, the 787 had already been flying for nearly a decade. Hundreds of aircraft in service, crews trained globally, established parts supply chains, certified maintenance hangars in dozens of countries. Boeing had 10 years of advantage. In commercial aviation, that's a lifetime. Airbus arrived too late for the first wave. Airlines that needed to retire old widebodies had already bought 787s years before. And the second wave? The A330-200s that Airbus expected to replace were too new. Hawaiian Airlines' fleet had an average age of just 12 years in 2025, far from retirement.
Alaska Air Group, which acquired Hawaiian in September 2024, has no plans to replace these aircraft anytime soon. Too late for the old customers, too early for the future customers, and that had a cost. While Airbus waited, Boeing made the second move, and that one was personal. Hawaiian Airlines. This story alone defines the tragedy of the A330-800. For years, Hawaiian was the only customer of the program. 6 aircraft on order, a lonely name on the entire backlog. In 2017, CEO Mark Dunkerley raised public alarm about the lack of orders. The message was clear: we are alone here. In 2018, new CEO Peter Ingram takes over, and his first major decision was devastating. He cancels the 6 A330-800s and orders 10 Boeing 787-9s for $2.82 billion at list price. But pay attention to that expression, list price. Market reports indicate that Boeing offered a discount of more than 30%. In practice, Hawaiian got 10 787s for a fraction of the A330-800. Boeing didn't win in negotiation. Boeing bought the customer. And Ingram's reasoning should terrify Airbus. He never said the aircraft was bad, never criticized the engines or fuel consumption. His concern was unique: market risk. If no one else buys this aircraft, who manufactures parts 15 years from now? What will the resale value be in 2035? When your only customer is asking these questions, something went wrong in the program. And Hawaiian wasn't alone. 21 operators of the classic A330 chose the Boeing 787 when it was time to replace. But the final blow, the cruelest of all, hadn't arrived yet, and that one came from inside the house. The deadliest enemy of the A330-800 was not the Boeing 787. It was the 900 variant. Same program, same factory, same manufacturer, same engine. 800 variant, 12 orders. 900 version, 477. The difference between them? The 900 carries about 30 extra passengers on every flight, over 25 years of useful life. That's billions in additional revenue. 750 extra miles of range? Useful for a handful of very specific routes.
The market chose capacity over range, every time, without exception. And the proof is Kuwait Airways, the largest customer of the 800 variant in the world with 8 orders, switched 4 of them for the 900 variant in 2022, with the first delivery in December 2024. The program's most loyal customer is migrating to the bigger brother. The thin long-haul niche that the 800 was designed to serve is being crushed from 3 sides at the same time. Boeing, with already consolidated airlines, Airbus itself with the 900 variant, and, as if that weren't enough, the new A321XLR, a narrow-body capable of flying transatlantic at a fraction of the operating cost. There is no way out, or at least that's what many were certain of. And the final irony of this story, in 2025, the A330neo family had an explosive resurgence, more than 100 new orders. IAG, the British Airways Group, Saudi Arabian, Malaysia Airlines with a commitment for 40 aircraft, Etihad, Aerolíneas Argentinas. The program is a gigantic commercial success. All of them went for the 900 variant. Airbus sentenced its own son and didn't even realize what it was doing. But before closing this autopsy, there's a twist. In the Farnborough Air Show 2024, Airbus launched the A330 MRTT Plus, a military tanker variant based specifically on the fuselage of the 800 variant. Launch customer? Royal Thai Air Force. Delivery scheduled in 2029. Trent 7000 engines, 8% less consumption, maximum takeoff weight of 242 tons. The A330 MRTT is already the absolute dominator of the world tanker market outside the United States. 85 orders, 66 deliveries, more than 90% market share.
17 nations operate the aircraft, including Australia, the United Kingdom, France, NATO, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. To understand the size of this capability, it's worth getting into the numbers. Each MRTT carries 111 tons of fuel, 245,000 pounds, stored exclusively inside the wings and the central section of the fuselage. No external tanks, no aggressive structural modifications. In a single flight hour, this aircraft can transfer up to 70 tons of fuel to other aircraft, 25% more than any competing tanker available in the world. The refueling boom, controlled by fly-by-wire from a console in the cockpit, transfers fuel at a rate of 1,200 gallons per minute. To put this in perspective, an F-16 fighter can be completely refueled in less than 3 minutes. And the versatility goes far beyond refueling aircraft. The same aircraft that fuels fighters in the middle of the Pacific can in hours be reconfigured to carry 300 soldiers in airline comfort or 45 tons of cargo on standard NATO pallets. It can be converted into an aerial hospital with 130 stretchers for medical evacuation. And in March 2026, Spain began negotiating additional units after the conflict with Iran exposed the limitations of its fleet of only 3 tankers. The 800 variant may have died as a passenger aircraft, but it may find redemption as a war aircraft. The platform didn't die, it just changed uniforms. Now, I want to hear from you. Did Airbus create the right aircraft at the wrong time? Or was the 800 variant simply the wrong aircraft from the start, and Airbus should have put everything into the 900? And if the MRTT Plus really takes off in the military market, does that save the program? Or does it just confirm that this aircraft never belonged to the commercial world? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you liked the analysis, leave a like, subscribe, and tell me which other aviation story you want to see investigated here.